Hi, Democrats. Today is Wednesday, February 2nd, 2022. It is time for the Chair's Daily Live. Happy Wednesday. Hi, Wayne. So today is 2/2/22, and I was going to try and make something interesting of it, and I can't think of anything interesting. So what I will do is I will talk about where we are. We are 279 days away from the election in November. 279 days. It's not very far off. That's what is that? That is 7 months. We are 7 months away. That can't be right. We are 9 months away from the election. We are 9 months away from the election. We are 5 days away from local elections, which are next Tuesday. 5 days away from local elections. If you're not planning on voting early in person next week, if you haven't mailed off your absentee ballot yet, I'm going to encourage you to either do early in person, drop it off, or vote on election day so that we know that your vote will count. And then we are 2.5 months from the filing deadline for folks who are going to be running, who are going to be on the ballot in November. So you've heard it from me. You've heard it a lot. We have got to be focused. We've got to be focused on registering Democrats. We've got to be focused on running for office or helping find someone to run for office. And then once we have our candidates, supporting them. Supporting them by sharing their social media, by making sure that people know that they're running, by knocking doors or driving them as they knock doors, and by donating money. All of those things are important. And I'm trying to get your mind around it now because you need to be doing it now. Candidates need to already be out there knocking doors. And I know it's cold, but maybe they're doing phone banks and they can help you they could use your help on phone banks. So I wanted to start out really quickly talking about focus because that's what we need to do. We need to be focused. You guys, thank you for joining me and thank you for following me. And you've heard me talk about the crazy bills that our majority party is putting up. You've heard me talk about how annoying I think our governor is because he forgets that he's the governor and he's not focusing on the things that take care of Oklahomans. But we absolutely have to focus. And I'm mentioning this because there are crazy bills. We're going into legislative session next week. And you'll start hearing more about these bills. The news has been doing recaps. All of the watchdog organizations, the ACLU, the Sierra Club, all these clubs have been doing legislation watch. Here's what I want to say. Don't be distracted. Don't get worked up, and you're going to hear me get worked up. But don't get so worked up on the bills that you forget what we need to be focusing on. Don't get so worked up being mad at our legislators who forget that they represent Oklahoma, who are keeping up a lot of noise about, creating cultural wars, that kind of stuff. That stuff is meant to anger us. That stuff is meant to distract us. That stuff is meant to disenfranchise us, to make us say, okay, it doesn't matter, throw up our hands and go away. And then they can keep doing it. What we have to do is stay focused. Because let me tell you what's happening. It's Wednesday, so we are smack dead in the middle of Gun Violence Survivors Week. And I talked about yesterday, why do we need these weeks? Why do we need these weeks so that we are taking a moment to focus, so that we're highlighting it so that it can be repeatable. And I'm sorry that we have to have a Gun Violence Survivors Week, but that's where we are. So I took a moment, went and looked up the legislation. We have 29 bills about firearms and guns that are going to be heard in this next legislative session. Thank you, Lan. 29 bills talking about guns. There were at least two that I saw that was just trying to define what a gun is. But there are bills talking about how can we get guns in schools, in churches, in municipal offices, how we can limit who can make laws about guns so that it can't be made in the municipalities. It only can be made at the state level. All of this stuff. This is where we are. We're focused so much on gun bills and making sure that we can carry a gun any and everywhere, that we're not focusing on education. Yesterday, before one snowflake fell, we all knew what schools were closed. We need a better plan. And we need to give our educators and our administrators the room to develop those plans without worrying about what craziness is going to come out of the legislature as a result of their actions. They went to school, they have the education, they're there in the trenches with our scholars every day. We need to give them some space to make those decisions. But again, I digress, and I'm taking the focus. We need to be focused on electing Democrats who are focused on making sure we have well-funded quality public education and that public dollars go to fund public education. We need legislators who understand that healthcare, folks shouldn't go bankrupt because they have an illness. They shouldn't, but that's where we are. People need access to affordable healthcare. And they also need just a job to be able to, a job. I want to keep talking about it. You should only have to work one job to be aware, to be able to take care of your family, to live out the American dream. I like that, Leonard. Beware the socialist snowplows. Yeah, if you don't want there to be the greater good, don't be following that snowplow. Go get your own snowplow and shovel your own way home and wherever you have to be. We all are in this together, and we need to remember that we are in this together. And we need to elect more Democrats so that we have a balance, so that when we're having the conversations that we're considering everyone. That's what needs to happen. Thanks for joining me. I will be back here tomorrow at 4:15. You guys have a great one.